didn't I? So today we're starting off with some more bug control. This is one of the decks I'm considering playing at GP Birmingham. I really enjoyed trying it out last week, so we're just getting some more games in, see if I keep enjoying it. This one seems great. It's a bit land heavy, but got a death rate on one. Can't really complain. Oh, cool, Sapper. Thank you. This Valakut competitive no format is bad. Oh my god. So I definitely want to lead on Underground C, because I want to be able to cast him turn 2 if they kill the death rate. I guess I might as well not let them know I have fetch lands available. Might make them play differently. Thank you, Harlook. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. I'm really excited. Like, I'm excited for the PT, but the idea of getting to go to the mock is like kind of unreal. I don't know. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Legacy. What is Valakut? Is that a card? Hey, Valakut has seen play in Legacy, mainly in like really weird Nick Fit variants. Is this a Deathrite Shaman mirror? It is a Deathrite Shaman mirror. I'm not going to use this force on their Shaman. Got lots of spot removal for this. We get to use our Shaman first anyway. We really don't want to lose our Ponder either, because we're kind of looking for some gas, looking to find a Brainstorm to get rid of a land, maybe. Yeah, by the losing decks. That's fair. Drawing a fetch is kind of brutal. We're going to start Ponder. See if we can't find a Brainstorm. Losing our Force Fodder is annoying, but we don't want to use Force too aggressively in this matchup anyway, since we're playing a mid-range mirror. Ooh, and now we can Edict their Shaman. This is actually amazing. Oh, because we didn't crack a fetch first, we can't keep all of these. I guess I have to Brainstorm this turn then, and play another Shaman. That's still really good though. Brainstorm plus second Shaman. Right, so let's go Edict, Shaman, Brainstorm, no shuffle, play out one of the green lands, since we're likely fetching a jewel, and the polluted deltas are strictly better because they can find basics. Blue mana and a Brainstorm. You can tell when someone is a modern player trying Eternal formats, because they have all these cards that probably perform well on modern but just get crushed in Eternal. Yeah, that makes sense, Sapper. I've definitely seen that be the case. So we ditch these, crack the fetch, play a death rate. And we're in a fine position. Even if they slam like a true name, we can kill both their things. I want a Bayou, I think. I'm not too worried about getting wastelanded. Like, we're going to have 2 death rights in play. Wasteland's really bad against us at the moment. So I'm just going to get a dual land and get the... yeah, get the Bayou. We want lots of black sources for the Shamans later on, which inclines me to get the Bayou instead of the Trop. Yeah, that makes sense, Phil. I kind of wanted to do that myself. Chalices seem... I don't know if I include Graveyard Hate, but having some Chalices sounds amazing. I've always really... oh my god, this is gross. I've always really loved Chalice in Titan Shift ever since I borrowed your list. Kind of sad we didn't discard the Force to that hymn. If they'd made us discard the Force, the hymn wouldn't have even been that gross. but losing the force is really bad for us. We draw our own hymn though, which is great. We can hymn them, edict them. And I want the hymn to resolve, so I'm going to cast hymn first in case they have days in their deck. Ponder Inquisition. So they're playing Pile instead of Delver because of the Inquisition. You're thinking of testing Dampening Spheres. That card seems awesome. I'm excited to add one to Lantern to Whirlpool. Like, Dampening Sphere just seems really, really strong to me. So make a black mana. We make some kind of mana. We make them sack a Deathrite. Now there are no lands in the graveyard, which makes the Deathrite a bit less effective, but we don't care because we're going to be using ours to start dealing damage now. Oh no, Intolerable. That's so sad. Why can't you make it? Yeah, I'm really excited for it, Phil. It's going to be my first ever Legacy GP. I've played Legacy for like 4 years now, or 3 years. But just never had the chance to play in a GP. That would be the dream, for sure, Phil. I would be very into that. Ooh, a Brainstorm. Okay. It's kind of scary. Still got these 2 Shamans, though. Kind of sad this Force probably isn't doing anything this game at this rate. Because, like, all the blue spells we could draw, we're likely going to cast. That would make Nationals really interesting. Okay, a Swamp. So we could play it out or not. They have Hymn to Turax in their deck, which inclines me to play it out. It makes a Brainstorm a bit worse, but we've already got a card we want to return with Brainstorm. So I think I just want to insulate myself against Hymn to Turax. And now we can pass with our Shamans up, which really shuts down their Shaman on their turn. That makes sense, Intolerable. I hope that other things are, like, still enjoyable anyways. This is a Fatal Push. Okay. Imagine, there's no lands in the yard, so I can't force it. I can still eat something though. Let's eat their Brainstorm. Make their Snapcasters a bit worse. Cool. Just resolves. We lose our Shaman, but that's fine. Still got another one. Does mean we're at Shaman parity now, but we're ahead in life totals. Which is like kind of good for us. They're cracking the fetch land. It's kind of interesting. Probably just casting a 2-drop since they can't make mana off of Shaman at the moment anyway. Does mean we get to eat something with our Shaman at the end of their turn. Since now their Shaman isn't properly up. Eat the Fatal Push. Another land. Right. It's not ideal. Like, technically we're holding up Force at the moment, except not really, because their Shaman battles our Shaman's ability to make mana. We're definitely starting to fall behind, I feel like, where they have 3 cards in hand. And the Strix is going to be like a repeated source of damage. Yeah, this is kind of rough. I guess I still just eat a ponder. Like, the other things are so unexciting to eat from their yard. They're probably going to eat it back to stop themselves taking damage, but that's fine. Since it uses up their mana for the turn, and means they don't have the Shaman untapped for our turn. So we could use a Snapcaster if we draw one. Hopefully we draw some big Haymaker here. That qualifies. Right, just gonna find a Trop. True name Nemesis. Naming you. Okay. Need them to not draw an Edict. If they draw a Toxic Deluge, they'd at least lose their Strix in the process, which would be fine. Hey there, Charlotte. You got there. Oh my gosh. Ooh, Snapcaster Ponder? That's fine. It's a bit annoying because the Snapcaster means they can actually realistically try and erase the true name now, but like we're still drawing cards too, so it's okay. Nothing to apologize for. How are you doing, Charlotte? Alright, so it's our turn now. So we get to hit for free, kill their Shaman, and then we're gonna be leading this race, which is good for us. Again, still very soft to an Edict, but removing their Shaman off the board is really good. If we wait for them to crack the fetch land, they won't get to activate the Shaman. If they crack the fetch land. They did not, because they really want the cards that are on top. That makes sense. So now they do get to use the Shaman, which is unfortunate, because they really wanted the cards that are on top. But I'm still going to Fatal Push it in their upkeep so they can't use it for mana. It limits their options more. So, like, kind of punished for not killing it on our turn, but we weren't to know that they, like, desperately wanted the cards on top enough to miss out on 2 damage. Kind of nice. I don't seem to be dropping frames yet this stream, which like is a huge relief because on the last stream we were having trouble with that. Alright, Brainstorm. Despite having this true name, I can just feel like the game slipping away from me. Like, they've drawn a bunch of really effective 2-for-1s and a second Brainstorm. Whereas this Force is just kind of sitting here. It's possible they have like a Force in their hand that's being kind of dead, which would be good for us, but considering they've just resolved a Brainstorm, that seems unlikely. Right, they're just passing the turn. Maybe they just have lots of removal. And now we have Force up. Okay, now I feel like I'm in an okay position. I'm winning the race on board. It seems like they don't have much in their hand, because they just didn't do anything with their turn other than resolve that Brainstorm. And I have a counterspell up. I guess am I winning the race? I guess I'm actually 1 damage behind, right? But a single removal spell puts me in the lead. Awesome, Phil. That's really good to hear. I'm glad it's going a bit better than it was on the last one. Yeah, so we're 1 point behind on the damage race, but a single removal spell swings that in our favour. Right, we have to counter Leovold. Awesome draw. That means we're now winning the race, and they can't counter it. Although, to be honest, they would have probably countered back to keep their Leovold alive, so... Right, so I get to decay the Snapcaster. Oh, they're cracking the fetch. That leaves them dead to True Name next turn, though. Huh. Maybe they have a Bolt? They do. Okay. We didn't know they were playing red up until this point. That's fine, though. If they have a Snapcaster, we die. But otherwise, they're going to lose to this decay into a True Name attack. Hey there, Camber. Oh, thank you so much for the subscription. Spread some, like, hearts in chat to celebrate our new subscriber. Thank you for the subscription, Cambo. I really appreciate the support. Alright, let's kill the Snapcaster. Hope this is good enough. Need them to not have Edict or Snapcaster. Or another Bolt. Colligan's Command. Yeah. Yeah. That's quite strong. Yeah, thank you so much for following up on that tweet, Cambo. Like, the subscription support is really appreciated. So, the forces seem terror-bad. Liliana seems awesome, as does Loam, Library, and him. I'm not sure what combination of removal we're meant to have. Maybe we're meant to have the Blue Blast. Colligan's Command is such a beating that I think we're meant to have Blue Blast. I'm also unsure how much, like, this Flusterstormy stuff we're meant to have. Oh, Bitter Blossom seems amazing too. So I'm going to take out the Flusterstorm, since we already have lots of options. Might be coming to some of the American GPs while you're here for the Pro Tour. I'm really hoping to get along to Vegas, May. I'm planning to do, if, like, I can get the finances to work and places to stay and stuff, I'm planning to do DC, and then the Pro Tour in Richmond, SCG Con in Roanoke, and then Vegas. So, and yeah, saying hi sounds great. Like, that sounds really cool to me. I need to cut 2 more cards here. I'm a bit scared about cutting Edicts in case they have True Names, but most check pile lists don't have True Names. And then I can cut, like, a removal spell, which I guess would be Abrupt Decay, because I kind of want to be able to kill their Deathrite Shamans. I can go like this. That seems really good to me. Thank you so much, Slaterade. Really appreciate it. I'm still, like, super happy about that. Such a relief. It's been, like, a while since I was last on the PT, so... So I feel like our opponent's better positioned to outgrind us with Colligan's commands, but... We'll see how this goes. We've got Wastelands, which they don't have. And we're definitely, like, very able to swing some games with that card. This hand is quite delightful. I'm going to keep. I'm going to lead on Verdant Catacombs, because then if we want to cast him turn 2, we can still do that. But we're probably just going to cast Sylvan Library turn 2. Because I'm not convinced they can beat that card. Alright, they're just casting a Neil Spellbomb? Huh. Interesting. Right, we're just gonna stick the Sylvan Library into play. Leovold does beat Library, that's true. So we have to, like, make sure we can kill Leovold. I hadn't considered that. I still think the library is going to be a big problem for them though if they don't decay it on site. Like, we're going to get to draw an extra 2 cards next turn if they don't have a decay here. Go back up to like 7 or 8 cards. So them cracking the Delta means they probably have decay. It could also just be a Strix. No! My heart. I'm so heartbroken about this. Okay. Still, if we hit a land off Liliana, off Brainstorm, we get to hymn them. That was quite abrupt. Oh, awesome, Slater Raid. I look forward to seeing you there. Alright, I'm just going to Brainstorm, try and hit my land drop, hymn them, I think. I could obviously loan back the Catacombs, but I really kind of want to cast hymn this turn if I can. Or draw a Wasteland. That's fine. We've got Wasteland Loam now. We can Wasteland them this turn. I guess they have Spellbomb in play. But we can kill their black source, and then they're going to be a bit constrained on mana, potentially. Let's put back Liliana. This, I guess. I'm just going to Wasteland this Underground Sea now. If they want to crack the Spellbomb, that's fine. If they don't, we like threaten to get back these 2, which seems really punishing for them. Like, it's possible when we cast the Loam, they just have to crack the Spellbomb to get rid of the Wasteland from our yard, depending on what they have here. And if we're not in a position to cast Loam, we can still just cast Brainstorm, right? Is this a Shaman? Right. Let's kill the Shaman. Oh my gosh, thank you for the subscription, Caius. I really, really appreciate it. Everyone spread some hearts in chat for Caius. It's also awesome to have you back here. So what do I want to do here? I want to Loam, I think, and crack the Spellbomb. I could also Brainstorm to try and hit my land drop and hymn them. Back in business, yeah. I'm gonna try to do like 3 streams a week. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it whilst I'm out in the US. I'm hoping some of the people I stay with, I can like use their computers or something, but certainly whilst I'm at home, there will just be 3 streams a week, every week until my degree's done. So I could Brainstorm, try and hymn. If I hit a land, we know the top card of our deck is Liliana, but either of the 2 cards underneath could be a land. If we Loam and they crack Spellbomb and then they untap and cast something, they get to like steal the initiative, which is pretty bad. Whereas like this is a really good opportunity to hymn them. You can join in, Canvo. I'm gonna Loam here, I think. It forces them to crack the Spellbomb for no value. If they cast a Leovold, we have an answer, so it's not the end of the world. And then like we can start dredging Loam to find land drops at some point if we want. I just feel like with the Spellbomb sitting in play, this is our best opportunity to actually get value out of Loam. Awesome, they can't even cast Leovold at this turn, which is really, really good for us. We know there's a Liliana on top of our deck, which is a fairly high impact draw. So I'm not sure if I dredge Loam this turn. Thing is, I do really want to hit my land drops. I think I'm just going to draw the Liliana, and we can dredge this later though. Can wait until we find a wasteland until we start aggressively loaming. So we get a brainstorm. Ooh, we found an island. That doesn't cast him though, which is kind of sad. I'm going to draw another. Baleful Strix, so we can now go Baleful Strix. Draw. Do we dredge loam now? I think I still just keep drawing. I think I'm in no rush to cast this loam anyway. So we're gonna put back 2 cards, draw one of them with the Strix. Yeah, it's Birmingham in 3 weeks, and it's like kind of a tricky one as well, because of the fact that I guess I could be dredging away a card I don't want with the loam next turn, huh? Rather than putting back the cards I want to hide from discard. Yeah, it's Birmingham in like 3 weeks, and it's kind of a tricky one where it's double format. I need to prepare 2 decks. Ooh. Trading our Strix with a Fatal Push is delightful. Right, we've got 2 more brainstorms, so we can do the brainstorm into loam trick later on. But I think I want to draw this Liliana, because then if we can brainstorm into a land, the Liliana rebuying the Strix is going to be really strong. How happy was I when Deathrite Shaman didn't get the chop? I was exceedingly happy, because we all know that's all I want to be casting. We found a land. I could do this now. I think what I want to do though is put back cards I don't want on top and then dredge loam in my draw step next turn, potentially. Right, because now I can go... Oh, I guess I'm going to be cracking a fetch for like this stuff though. This is fine. We can shuffle away a land. And... maybe shuffle away the... I want to hymn them this turn, I believe. Pretty sure I want to hymn them this turn. Rather than cast Liliana and get her killed by a Snapcaster. Yeah, let's do this. Find a Bayou. Cast him to Tarak. Maybe shred their hand apart a bit before we start playing out our threats. And this way if they cast a Snapcaster next turn, Liliana gets to Necrotol the Snapcaster. Like, they get a Brainstorm out of the Snapcaster, but that's fine. I guess they get to hide the cards they really want, but they're still going to lose 2 cards. It's not, like, great for them by any means. Thank you, Stunlock. I'm really, really excited for it all. This loam Brainstorm interaction is so weird. I've never done this before. I've only played loam in non-blue decks. It's like kinda sweet, but I feel like I'm messing it up a lot due to unfamiliarity. Snapcaster Fatal Push. Wow, we got rid of a Snapcaster, which is really nice. It's a bit worrying that apparently their other cards are better than the Snapcaster, but I'm just gonna pass the turn here. The 2 cards they hit on top, that is. Wow, they're just passing the turn back again. I'm almost tempted. So I have a Fort Seize on top. I don't really want to spew the Brainstorm. I'm just gonna untap and play my Liliana. And like hit my land drop off the loam. So we get to loam back some lands. We could hold up Abrupt Decay to keep Liliana safer if we'd hit draw on the land, but I think getting this value feels pretty nice to me. Like, now we have lots of lands in hand to brainstorm away later. And create a new hand of cards, essentially. So, play our fetch land, fetch out a land, fin the deck. Get our fetch back in the yard for the loam, if we want to do that again. Find an Underground Sea. Cast our Liliana. Plus on the Snapcaster. If they have Snapcaster into Colligan's command, they get to kill Lily. I guess an Abrupt Decay would also do it, but I'm not too sad about that, since there are lots of good things for them to decay in our deck regardless. And it's just keeping the board clear, which is good for us when we have the loam engine going. Right, I think I'm gonna... I want to loam once more, and then I can brainstorm and just get like a new hand. Alright, so we go loam back these fetches, cast brainstorm, hope they don't have a blast. Fortsies, fatal push, polluted delta. Not really the dream. Lay out a fetch land. Cast our Fortsies. They probably just have a bunch of removal in hand. They haven't really been deploying threats very much. They had a chance last turn to Snapcaster or Colligan's command. Oops, I clicked way too fast. I guess that's probably the one we'd have taken anyway. It's a bit annoying. Now we have to deal with the Jace if they hit a land. I definitely clicked too fast there where I was talking. It's fine though. If they hit the land for the Jace, we're kind of in trouble because we don't have removal for Jace. Yep. Alright. This is fine. I say this is fine. Not entirely convinced by what I'm saying. I'm playing 3 Wastelands, so I have 2 more in the deck. We've already used up 1. Don't really know that we can deal with that Jace. TBH. I'm just going to open the window a second. It's really, really warm today. It's like hitting 25. Alright, let's ponder. Hopefully the noise outside isn't too bad. Half of your office is currently sunbathing. That's so ridiculous. Okay, that is a Leovold. Yes, we're gonna fatal push that. So we get some revolt. We cast fatal push. Should have done that on their end step to play around, what's it called? Play around them drawing a land drop off the Leovold, but I'm kind of off this game at this point. Not convinced we're beating this Jace. At least it's kind of reassuring. We probably wouldn't have beat the Colligan's command too easily either. By this point they'd have used it like twice and had a bunch of snapcasters. But this is definitely the worst timeline. Yep. I feel like it would be very reasonable to concede her. They have 5 cards in hand. I don't know what the temperature is in London at the moment, but I know yesterday it was 25, and like 25 definitely felt less than what we have at the moment. If I don't try and remove their threats, I'm gonna die to my Bitter Blossom, so I almost feel like I have to block, but I also need the fairies to kill Jace. It's kind of awkward. I guess I'm probably gonna have to block though. Right, let's just off the Shaman. Okay, that's a very good draw. Snapcaster is also a very good draw. What do we do with Snapcaster? We snap Brainstorm, I guess? And just hope they don't have Toxic Deluge in their deck at the moment. Ooh, they have a Red Blast? Okay. Makes sense. To be honest, this is like a bit too warm for my tastes. Camber. I like low 20s, ideally. Oh, they get to snap decay the Bitter Blossom. I think this is the point at which I finally give in the towel. Snap decay on Bitter Blossom. We just have like nothing now. That's pretty sad. Don't know if we'd have got there if I'd taken the right card off the Thoughtseize. I used to like love cold weather when I was really young, but now I just like warm-ish weather. This hand's pretty great. Got some combo disruption and some good stuff for the mid-range matchups. Please don't play Chalice. Please don't play Chalice. Oh my god. My heart is broken. Oh, right. Just gonna take their tomb off the table. Hopefully, brick on mana. Ooh, they're on mud, most likely. Abrupt Decay is an excellent draw. It means we can take the Chalice off the table next turn. I have 2 Cloud Posts. Okay. I think we just decay this. We could go Strix into decay plus Thoughtseize, but decaying this turn means we can Leovold next turn. If we want to. And we still have the option of like 2+1 next turn anyway. So I think this is fine. We also don't want to risk this getting fort not seared, because then the game gets a lot harder. Oh, I guess I'm just meant to hold up the decay, right? Rather than doing it right now. That's kind of loose. This is like a 90-10 matchup. I assume in my opponent's favour. Assume I just do not have enough of a clock to fight what's going on over there. I've never played this matchup before, but it seems pretty rough. At least we have the wastelands, which are gonna help us compared to like check pile decks in the matchup. Jeez, all my viewers always like rooting for my opponent's decks. Leo is a 3-3 in this matchup. That is fair. I guess I might just be fort seizing next turn then. Jitte. That's a good draw. Alright, we get to fort seize an edict. Maybe we have a chance if my opponent bricks off really badly. Oh my lord. I guess I have to... How do I beat either of those creatures? I need to like draw my 1-of Snapcaster to cast my 1-of Diabolic Edict again. This game is over. It's feeling pretty rough. You sure are glad we got to fort seize their threat. I guess I have to take the Endbringer and then hope to find my Snapcaster for the Smasher in like a couple turns. This is going to hit me for 5, so I go down to 12, and it's going to hit me for 9, putting me down to 3. But it at least gives me time, whereas the Endbringer gives me no time. Sure. I guess I'm that those damage estimates are like slightly wrong for various reasons, but I have like a couple turns versus the Reality Smasher, whereas I think the Endbringer, the moment they untap with it, the game's functionally over from them drawing 2 cards. Right, it's interesting. Do I want to edict them and see if they keep the Fort Not Seer? Because then I'm drawing live to Fatal Push. I think I'm going to do that. It means I don't get to draw the card, potentially, but I'm drawing a lot more live in terms of the removal that deals with the 4/4. Yeah, it sure will be natural order. I guess I get a drop. Now we hope they are silly and sacrifice the Reality Smasher because we don't draw a card that way. They did! Oh my god. We're being given a chance. Oh my god. We are great. We're gonna lose this game anyway. But we get to pretend we have a chance. Which is basically all you can really ask for. I should do this in their turn so that they pay mana to equip the Jitte. This is technically incorrect. But hey. Blue, black, green. Oh geez, Sultai, that's kind of rough. Well done on managing to put up such a good finish though. And get on the PT. Another Fatal Push? Are we actually gonna win this game? Is this actually the world we're living in? They have an All Is Dust in hand, so they get to wipe our board, which is unfortunate. But we do get to kill this Endless one. Guess I ponder here. True Name. I am so excited right now, Starsight. You can't win this game or you're mocking like daft. We can draw the force the All Is Dust, cast the True Name. So we go True Name, Force, no shuffle. Fatal Push or 7/7. Oh my god. This game felt unwinnable, like, when we fought seized them. It's all I do, Phil. It's all I do. I think I meant to force this. It puts them on a 2-turn clock, right? Derp a derp a derp. Name Canacan. They've taken like 8 of this off of Ancient Tombs, so it's not far off 12. Oh my god. This is where they like slam and All Is Dust. I just decide that I'm done with Magic. Got there. Easy game. Easiest game. Yep, they made a... We won that game because we let them make the mistake, for sure, Caius. The fact that, we let them sack the Reality Smasher if they wanted to. Right. Get to board in some cards. They sure did, Bill. Miscloaked Herald would not have done that much damage. Liliana seems kind of garbo. She like recycles Baleful Struxes, but not really about that life. Oh yeah, him to Torak for sure. I agree. What cards are bad? Jace seems kind of hard to protect, but we also don't have win conditions. Like... We're not going to get there off the back of 2 True Names that reliably. I guess Leovold doesn't do much. We might prefer the Jaces over the Leovolds. Maybe. We can just hope to set up Lone Wasteland. You knew I had this from the outset. No doubt at any point. Why would you ever doubt? What else am I cutting? It's also really awkward because honestly I feel like Fatal Push is okay in this matchup. They're a lot lower to the ground than the modern Eldrazi decks, right? But I guess we have Abrupt Decays. This is kind of tough. I feel like I'm going to take out the Leovold, so... Oh, Flusterstorm, sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, for sure. Need to cut one more card. Could just be a removal spell. I don't want to cut any decays because Chalice is so scary. Edict seems amazing to me, Phil. It kills all their big things. Sounds weird. I'm actually going to cut a cantrip. I don't know if this is right. But they have chalices. And I kind of want all the other spells. I don't know if that's correct or not, but... It's not like we play the full 8 cantrips anyway. They're not as important to our deck as they are to Delver. We have to spend the early turns fort seizing and stuff anyway. Ooh, Strix is a nice turn 2 potentially. I'm going to keep that. Like, Diabolic Edict's also a nice turn 2. So it's not clear that we want the Strix, but if they fought not us, they now, like, left with a tough decision. Oh, maybe take out Fortsies? That's reasonable. I also feel like their deck's pretty, in the early turns, is pretty vulnerable to discard though sometimes. Where they can definitely get hands that are like very fret-light because they run so much mana. Which is like what makes it tough in my mind. Okay. So we've already got one dual land, so I'm just going to fetch another, I guess, and accept that Wasteland is annoying. We want... I need to be able to cast the Ponder if they waste me, so I guess I get the Trop? Okay, okay. Yes, I'm getting the Trop. And then we'll just cast this Baleful Strix because it can trade with the Endless one. Or a Reality Smasher if they have one. Shouldn't F6. Don't want them to know that I don't have Force in hand. Yeah, the Loam is really exciting. If we can find a Wasteland to pair with it. 5 mana. Here comes the Smasher. We get to block it though. With our... I guess we get to block the Endless one and then Edict the Smasher. Or they just don't attack because they don't want to trade with the Strix. That's understandable. And good for us. Another Strix. What about the sweet F6 value? That's the real question. Right, I'm going to Ponder, try and find a land, cast another Strix. Just like keep hitting my land drops. Ponder gives me the most looks at a land. I don't really want to get rid of any of the cards with Brainstorm at the moment anyway. These are good cards. I guess the Hymn isn't ideal at the moment, but... Right. No shuffle. Cast this Strix. Not conducive to Autumn's clock plan, oh my god. I have not been nearly as bad at falling behind on time as I used to be, but... No, my Edict! Or my Loam. They could just take the Loam. I think they have to take the Edict though, right? They could take the Fatal Push to protect the Fort Knot, so I don't get my card back. That's reasonable too. I excel in the red zone. Just like to live life on the edge, Phil. It's my inner red mage. About improving. Yeah. I don't know what they take here. Our hand's kind of absurd, right? Next turn we get to loan back Catacombs and then hymn them. They took the Brainstorm. Jeez. Yeah, I'm going to loan back Catacombs and hymn them. They have 3 cards in hand. We don't really care about their board at the moment either. I kind of just want to make sure I hit my land drop for the turn. Find the Bayou, so we have a nice spread of lands. Cast the Hymn. Okay. That I'm very relieved that we hymned them. On a scale of Yuya to Nassif, how slow do I play? I'm not quite as slow as Nassif. I definitely play slower than I should. Except when I'm playing Lantern. When I play Lantern I play really fast because I have to play really fast. Yes, I want to cast Jace this turn. Slow no, maximize usage of the clock. That's fair. Oh my god. I'm a bit worried about this final card in the hand, though I guess it's just a land, right? I kind of want to just Dredge Loam this turn and wipe down some of their board, and then next turn land the Jace on a nice clear board. Alright. Also, this means we're like digging towards Wasteland, right? Which is good. So we can get back the Catacombs. We can go push Edict. That was a very good him, for sure. Am I doing this now? I get to draw my card now. It's kind of relevant if I hit a, Yeah, I guess I'm just fatal pushing this fort not now, for the info. Underground Sea. Kill your dork. Polluted Delta, sure. So now I'm going to pass the turn. We have Edict up. I could probably start attacking, but I don't feel like we're winning the game through damage this game. That's fair and funny. For what it's worth, I only actually play slow when I'm playing online. Is this an Ulamog? Oh. That's interesting. I guess we just edict them now, since it's going to be cut off by the Chalice. It's kind of sad, because they're just going to sack the Endless one. Now we can't remove the Smasher, and the Smasher's threatening Jace, but still pretty fine with the situation, all told. Yeah, exactly, Nintendo. Oh, the Chalice locks out life from the Loam too. I guess I'm casting Jace here and plussing on them. It's annoying, they have a mystery card in hand. I'm not sure what it could be. It's probably just a land that they're holding though. Yeah, I still get to plus Jace, which is good. Gets out of Smasher range. I would like to put Reality Smasher on the bottom of your library, yes. Thank you for asking. Now, even though this has Trample, it doesn't trample over enough damage to Jace. Awesome. Get to untap with Jace on board. Pretty sure I'm brainstorming here. I could just keep plussing. I'm kind of curious what's in their hand. I feel like Brainstorm would be really strong. We're digging towards a wasteland. In this channel there isn't any slow play, there's me talking too much. Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god. I'm not sure on plus or zero. Thing is, even like a single extra threat is kind of problematic from them. This... Yeah, I think I agree, Caius. Like, Brainstorm's really powerful at the moment. Like, we have so much stuff to shuffle back. We draw a Decay, which is amazing. Because now we can go Decay the Chalice, Snapcaster Edict on the Smasher. Oh, snap him. Huh. It's an interesting one. Natural Orderer. And then next turn we can bounce Snapcaster to Edict this. Yeah. I think I like that a bit more. I think both lines are, like, clearly amazing. Obviously I should be getting in attacks here, but I've F2'd through my combat step because I did not consider the snap him line. Yeah, I think I prefer this. Because now we get to start bouncing Snapcaster on removal as well. Alright. Will admit, that line was decent. You could bounce Snapcaster with Jason, do both. Okay, apparently they have Ugin in that deck. Who was saying that matchup's 90-10 against us? No faith. No faith. Life from the Loam does eat a lot of clock. Mainly because I sit there wondering what on earth to do with it. Oh my god. Just zero faith, Natural Orderer. We're gonna go first. I'm gonna keep this. I've got to brainstorm. Everything will be fine. Nothing could possibly go wrong. That 10% is someone ripping cards like a legend. Oh my god. This is like kind of a greedy keep, but it should be fine. Brainstorm solves all problems. I guess we just play this. So we can't get wastelanded? I guess the island doesn't get wastelanded either. Not really sure if there's any specific land we're meant to lead on. Leading on Delta means we have the option to shuffle away the island, which would make us a bit better against Ghost Quarter. Not sure how important that is, but like that's a very minor advantage to making sure we keep the island in our hand. Also, our hand's really land heavy, so I think the way this hand would want to play against Wasteland anyway is by aggressively fetching dual lands and avoiding basics. And just slogging through the wastelands, rather than like potentially ending up colour screwed by finding basics and like trying to complement that with dual lands that get wastelanded. Yeah, we want them to wasteland us for sure, Caius, with the way this hand looks. Like Brainstorm's gonna help things a bit, but it's not gonna solve everything. Oh, please don't Thoughtseize me. Is this Dread? No. This is like Bombardment maybe? Or maybe some weird Jund list. Anyway. Could just be like Jund with Punishing Fire package. Yeah, this is kind of exciting, Caius, for sure. Reanimator. Oh, that's the most likely thing. You're right. I'm being stupid. I'm naming weird obscure decks when it's obviously Reanimator. Oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna brainstorm here. We want to find some interaction as fast as possible, and we've got lots of stuff we're happy to brainstorm away already. That's the sweet Grizzlebrand, sire of Insanity Jund. Jund's just decided it needed more top end, okay? Thoughtseize is really good. Let's put back these lands. And Thoughtseize our opponent. Do you want a Bayou or another C. I guess we just get another C. We're not being wastelanded at all. I think I just want as much black and blue mana as possible, since we don't have a death rate. Leovold's pretty decent against Grizzlebrand, for sure. I guess we're taking the Exhume. Uh-huh. I'm hoping they don't have an Unburial Rites in their deck. Seems unlikely, but wouldn't be the weirdest thing in the world. Hey there, George. Right, so this turn we get to land Leovold, which gives it protects us against looting too. Jeez, this Leovold is great. You found my legacy deck for Birmingham. What is my legacy deck for Birmingham, George? Yeah. For sure, Caius. I feel like we are in a very reasonable position at the moment. You sent me a Facebook thing. Legacy Challenge 18th place. I mean, obviously if it gets 18th place in the Legacy Challenge, it's just like the clear deck to take, right? Is it Legacy? Oh my god. What's this gonna be? Are they gonna... Did they draw a 2-mana spell? Or are they casting Faithless Looting? Casting Looting with a Leovold in play would be loose, I feel like. Now they've used up their fetches, we get to start Jace plussing on our opponent. I'm gonna... Just a moment, I'm gonna look at these red-black reanimator lists. I'm not up to date with them. I'm a bit worried about, whether they have... What's it called? Whether they have the 3-mana instant one. I don't really want to get got by that if I attack. Black-red reanimator, they do not. They have no instants here, so we just get to attack. I'm just wondering why they cracked those fetches. Maybe they thought they could Faithless Looting, and then realised they couldn't because of the Leovold. Let's just attack. And then we'll start Jace plussing, and then next turn we'll look for a death rate. Right, let's look at this. 18th place. That's on you. You can have the Chancellor of the Annex. Deal. Right. What is 18th place? Oh my god, a Ryo, Niv Magus Elemental, Grove of the Burn Willows, Punish... Jesus. I might have to try this on stream at some point, but it looks like a disaster. Okay, so I guess I ponder, try and find a death rate. Grixis, 4-color, Grixis, Sultai, what? Pretty much. I guess I draw the ponder, and then I shuffle, and then I ponder again. Because we just want to find a death rate. We're going to keep plussing with the Jace to turn off draw steps from our opponent. Thoughtseize, Hymn to Torak, Force. If we draw the Force... So this turn we can draw the Thoughtseize. Then next turn we get to hold up Force for the rest of the game. I guess that's probably good enough to keep, right? Means they get one draw step here. Unmask. So we take the unmask so they can't take our Force. Kind of nice the Thoughtseize actually ended up mattering. And then we plus on them. Entomb. We will not put that on the bottom. And they're probably going to crack this fetch. So they get one draw step now. If they get a, if they get the enchantment reanimation spell, we have an abrupt decay up. So it has to be an exhume or a reanimate. What's your line with Fate Seal versus Fetch Land? Do you always top? Not always. I probably top more aggressively. But if it's something really good, I don't want to try and bluff it. Because if they call my bluff, it's just so hideous for you. Like, if I saw a reanimation spell there, I would put it to the bottom. Because if they call my bluff, I just lose the game. It's just too bad. Alright, so we won that. Get to board in some Surgicals. Board in this Flusterstorm. Board in a Thoughtseize. Board in a Hymn. Hymn might be a bit slow on the draw, but it's probably still good. And Edict seems great. And Library might be good. We'll see how much room we have. So, Liliana is Terabad. Fatal Push is Terabad. I'm gonna look at their sideboard quickly. I'm not that familiar with it. Alright, they have nothing that we want to decay in their deck. So we should just take out the decays. And then we probably have room for this library, honestly. We have a bunch of, like, relatively unexciting cards in the deck, like this True Name. I guess the True Name pitches the Force, but the library's probably better than one of the True Names. This seems pretty good setup to me. Yeah, let's run it. Apparently they don't run Animate... Oh, wait, they do run Animate Dead. I'm being stupid, sorry. We could have some decays for Animated then. I worry that they're a bit narrow. Though, if it's only Animate Dead it hits, maybe they're still okay. Yeah, I don't think it's needed. I think we're, like, really well set up post-board. With, like, Death Rites, Surgicals, and, like, all the typical disruption. Okay, we don't have a Force or a Surgical, but we have double Thoughtseize. I think this is good enough. I'm gonna try this hand. We're obviously cold to a turn 1. Yep, it is, George. I think I keep this. We're cold to a turn 1. But if we get to untap, the double Thoughtseize should keep us safe. I could see this being incorrect, but they have a Leyline of Sanctity. Pre-game action makes me think they have a Leyline of... Oh, they have a Chancellor. I'm stupid. Derp. Alright. We have 2 Chancellors, so it wouldn't have mattered if we had a Force or a Surgical anyway. So we got that going for us, I guess. I think I'm just going to hold up Brainstorm. And then in their turn I'll cast Brainstorm into the Chancellors, then I get to untap and double Forces. Yeah, it was Chancellor. I was being silly, worrying about Leyline there. It's just because I had 2 Forces in my hand, I just like assumed the world was falling down upon me. I can Entomb, untap, reanimate. Yep. This is suboptimal for us. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. If I don't draw an Edict next turn, I will scoop. For sure, Chancellor just like stops early interaction. It's really punishing. So I'm going to cast this Brainstorm, and I'm going to hope to rip Edict. If I don't, I'm going to feel like that was probably likely, considering there are 52 cards in my deck, and move on with my life. Alright. Mold to 5 or fewer against you in 5 of the last 6 games. That's kind of absurd, George. Yeah, we get countered, but we have to Brainstorm to get the Chancellors out the way. If we rip... Yeah, I meant rip and draw step. Nope. Alright. On to the next one. I think I'm just running this back. I think I'm happy with how we have things set up. You show and tell Emrakul, he put in Narcomoeba. I know one of my favourite moments, a friend of mine was playing Mannetless Dredge at a tournament, and their opponent show and telled in Emrakul, and then next turn could not attack with Emrakul, because if they did, they'd die to a lethal amount of zombies swinging back at them, because of Bridge from Below. So the Emrakul was just sitting on defense, like, forever. Alright, we'll go first. This hand is better. This hand is better. I think that is a fair description. If they have a Chancellor, we still get to fluster their first play. Because of the Storm trigger playing over the top of the Chancellor triggers. Yeah, this hand's pretty gross, Caius. This island's looking kind of awful, but... That is a lot of zombies. It was something like if his opponent attacked with Emrakul, he'd sack like 3 Narcomoebas and like some other random creature and get like 12 zombies. Okay, they have played out a Marsh Flats. We have found a blue card for Force. Still can't cast him, but that's fine. They have Chancellor up, by the way, for our first spell. The Dredge player had mulliganed to 2 that game. I completely forgot that part, Mike. Yeah, this hand is pretty messed up. Thinking I'm just going to cast this Edict on their end step to get the Chancellor out of the way. Is that reasonable? It's kind of annoying because like the Flusterstorm's good against the Chancellor anyway. But this way, once we've got the Chancellor out of the way, if we hit a land, we can play Leovold in our turn, which turns off their Faithless Lootings. Or like if we hit a land, I guess we can cast him anyway if we hit a land. I guess if we hit a land, we just spend our turn casting him, right? Whatever. Cool. We get to him them, and then have Force plus Extraction up. Which is probably good enough. All things considered. Find a Bayou. Him to Turak, who would like to pay 1. It's kind of awkward because they might not have an enabler in hand, in which case we're enabling them, but I think it's still worth it. Now we get to pass the turn. If they go to reanimate the Chancellor, we get to extract their Chancellors. Oh yeah, that's clearly the best Legacy story, Natural Orderer. It's like so ridiculous. Also, Grizzlebrand, which is their best threat, is less threatening at the moment because we have this Leovold. Ooh. Unmask, pitching Dark Ritual. Huh. This is interesting. So, like, our 2 options are we can force the Unmask and let them play into our Extraction with a reanimation spell. Or we can extract the Chancellor and then just let the Unmask resolve. In which case their reanimation spells are probably dead. I guess we don't mind them reanimating a Chancellor though. We've got Diabolic Edict in hand. I think I'm just going to let the Unmask resolve, right? Because I've got Diabolic Edict. I don't think the Unmask does anything. I guess it takes our Leovold, which is annoying. I'm going to let it resolve. The fact that Edict kills Chancellor really cleanly means we just don't care about this. I feel like they've got 2 cards out their hand as well, which makes their Faithless Lootings worse. We're probably going to take Leovold, which gets rid of our clock, but yeah, they almost certainly take Leo. I would be very surprised if they didn't take Leo. We have 0 clock, but I don't feel like they're getting through this disruption at any point soon. And we have blue cantrips that smooth out our deck, whereas they just have, like, Faithless Lootings. Animate dead on our Leovold. Okay, this I was not expecting. Yeah, they can reanimate our Leovold for sure. Am I actually surgicling my Leovold from my graveyard? Just to counter this animate dead? Probably. Whatever. This way we get to keep the counter spells, which is kind of nice. We'll take this one, leave the other one in our deck, because we are not stupid. I also get to see how I sideboarded. I sure do. For game 4. Alright. Drew a fetch land. I'm going to play it out, because then if we draw another land, we can just hardcast Force anyway. Lets them know that we drew a land for the turn, but I think that's fine. Any 2-mana reanimation, we can really cleanly fluster, even if they draw... I guess we can't fluster Animate Dead specifically, but we have Diabolic Edict to the Chancellor, so they kind of need to find a better target as well. So I feel like we've got a fair amount of time here. And if we ever draw a Jace or something like that, we can afford to tap out because we've got Force. Alright, we're just going to hold up Force now, hardcast. Playing out the 5th land makes Brainstorm worse, but I think that's fine. Brainstorm's just going to be amazing anyway. We don't need to work to make it good in this position. Cabal Therapy. Do I just fluster this? Fluster's gonna go dead at some point anyway, right? Means I can't hardcast Force, but I have Edict for the Chancellor specifically. So it only goes wrong if they can go like Dark Ritual, Entomb, Grizzlebrand, Reanimate. I guess a Lotus Petal would allow that too. I think I'm still just gonna fluster. Obviously if they can get a Grizzlebrand into play this turn, we're really punished, but otherwise I'd rather just trade my fluster for the therapy than my counter spell. Like my hard counter. Because this just turns off the moment they hit a 3rd mana. At least it does against the 1 mana reanimation anyway. Faithless Looting, sure. Pitching Tidespout, Tyrant. That one is also not very scary. Because we just get to Edict it really cleanly. Brainstorm. Okay, I think I'm just going to cast that. I really want to try and find a Deathrite Shaman this turn. It means we don't get to hold up Force, but I think that's fine. Because hitting a Deathrite Shaman would be so good for us. Okay. So we get to Thoughtseize them this turn. And hide the Edict on top from discard. Means we don't get to cast True Name if we Thoughtseize without shuffling away the Edict. I'm not convinced I'd cast True Name anyway, though it's such a slow clock. Maybe I just shuffle away the True Name. Lose my Force fodder, except I don't have Force up for a turn, but that's probably fine. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's just Thoughtseize them. I do get to hold up Force, I just don't... I feel like I can fade a draw step. Like, they don't even have scary reanimation targets at the moment. It's quicker than my current clock, but I feel like half our deck is better cards than True Name in this position. Like, all our other threats are better in this position, but also, like, a Surgical would be better than a True Name almost. because like they're so far away from assembling anything threatening that just pushing them further and further away is probably still good too. I don't know. 7 turns is just so many turns. And that's how long a true name would take to kill. I'd rather just have the extra card. Try and find a Jace or a Leovold or a Surgical or a Deathrite. Like, a Deathrite comes so close to locking up the game on its own. We have 4 of those in our deck. Another Thoughtseize. That's not quite the dream, but again, this means we don't get to hold up Force, and I think that's fine. Because we have Edict, and they don't have a Grizzlebrand in their yard. Okay, now things get scarier. Because now there is a Grizzlebrand in the yard. Now if we draw a Deathrite, we have to tap out a Force. So they're going to start having live draw steps again. That is really good. I'm going to cast a Jace and plus on them. I could 0, try and hit a blue card for this Force. Sure is, Caius. Sure is. I could 0 and try and hit a blue card. Also gives me shots at a Deathrite Shaman, or I could plus on them. If I plus on them and they draw a dead card, they get to play Lotus Petal, Looting, but then they only get to keep 1 card in hand, so they wouldn't get to reanimate. I think I'm going to plus this turn, and then next turn I'm going to start 0ing once I have, like, Force up as, like, worst case scenario. I think I want to play it safe this turn. I will put Reanimate on the bottom. Yep. We just have to fade for 1 turn, then we get to untap with Jace and Force up, and we're probably in an amazing position then. But we need to fade this 1 turn. That counts as fading. I guess they can Looting, but if they Looting, they don't have any mana up to reanimate, because they only get to keep 1 card, and they're probably discarding the Lotus Petal. So they won't have mana and reanimation spell this turn. Ooh, they discarded a reanimation spell, so that means they have another one in hand. Found a Deathrite, which is excellent. I'm going to draw cards. If I find a blue card, I can cast Deathrite. Or a land also lets me cast Deathrite. Or we can just draw both. So let's go. I have no idea. I want all these. I want all of these. I guess I'm drawing all of these eventually, but. So I can play the land, the Deathrite, hold up Hardcast Force, keep a blue card in hand. Sure. Yeah, I'm hiding Edict on top to keep it safe, for sure, Caius. And I just pass the turn with Force up. Amang, thank you for that host. I guess it was an auto host, I did not see that. But thank you regardless. Alright, so we got force up. So I think we should be safe now. Ready to be proven wrong, but thank you, oh blessed auto host. Alright, we're gonna cast this force and get punished for not wastelanding them, I guess. Ooh, no punishment. No punishment ever. Now we have Death Ray up. I get to start plussing on my opponent again. I could also start zeroing a bunch. Animate dead into reanimate inbound. Basically. Alright, let's just plus on them. If they have an Exhume, we get to eat the Grizzlebrand and then Edict the other thing. No. I'm going to kill their red source and then pass the turn. I guess I could brainstorm and get the Strix in play. Just like dig through my deck a bit. Try and find another shaman. Thanks, Coconut. I'm obviously super happy about it. I'm really excited to get to play in that tournament. Wow, this hand is stupid. I guess we get to hold up Surgical this turn and then Surgical plus Force next turn. Because that's reasonable. Yeah, that's gotta really hurt Cambo. I feel bad for him as well. Wish I could reveal my hand to my opponent at the moment. Ooh, Exhume. Alright, so I'm going to eat the Grizzlebrand. And then do I want to Surgical the Tidespout Tyrant? If I don't, an artifact lets them bounce my Death Ray. But okay, opponent's saying GG. I think they're accepting this is over with. You've dropped after 4 or 5 rounds in the Mux repeatedly, and no one feels sad for you. Correct, George. Correct. Alright, we're 2-1. Pretty happy with that. We lost to Check Pile, but then beat Eldrazi and that reanimates our opponent. Yeah, it was over a fair while ago. Once we untapped with the Jace in play and faded the draw step, we were just basically had the game locked up. You have never won a single match in the Mox. Please feel bad for you two. I do not feel bad for you, Mike. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You have a null and void win rate in the Mox. You've never even played in the Mox. We're all the luckiest. Oh my lord. Still really enjoying this list. I still prefer playing to Check Pile, I think. Just the way having access to Wasteland is so nice. Your mana's so much better too. You don't get cut off colours by opposing Wastelands as much. This hand is quite reasonable. We don't have a blue source, but we have Force and Deathrite Shaman and Fatal Push. So I think this is a pretty easy keep. And we're on the draw as well, so we have a bit of time to find lands. If we get to untap with Deathrite, it'll start eating fetch lands, maybe. Depending on what's opponent's on. The fact they're leading on an island does not excite me about the prospect of fetch lands, though. I figured that was implied, Mike, but yeah, I don't think we can force over this, since there's no fetches anyway. But if there was a fetch land, I might force over that. But I think we're just going to have to cross our fingers here. It is a good bot. I feel like we're losing this game. I think the hand was a reasonable keep, but it's definitely not working out for us here. We are quite dead, Coconut. I mean, any land lets us kill the counterbalance, so I guess I'm letting that resolve, other than Island or Wasteland. I'm going to discard this Edict, I guess. It's a bit worse than the push against their deck, because the only targets are Snapcasters. And they're missing land drops. They have 5 spells. Alright. We hit a land. Nope. I'm kind of tempted to scoop now, but let's discard this Fatal Push. Or Mentor. Yeah, Fatal Push is a bit better against Mentor too. Edict seems really bad against those tokens. I mean, we found a spell we can cast. It's probably getting counterbalanced here. Yep. Reveal the swords. We do have infinite time. You're right, George. It's just this is a bit soul-crushing, but like Liliana could run away with the game potentially if we can start ripping lands and dig our way up. I guess this is a bit of an aggressive fetch, since we're just going to decay the counterbalance anyway in their turn. We should just wait. It's also kind of irrelevant though, on the timing, since they don't play Wasteland. Is this a search for Azcanta? It's a Mentor. Right. I'm gonna decay myself a counterbalance. And then I think I'm gonna force this Mentor and hope to rip a land for Lily. Ancestral Vision. That's exciting. Pretty sure I have to force this Mentor, or else I'm gonna lose the game. It's definitely not the other force. It's either True Name or Brainstorm, I think. I think Ponder's a bit better than Brainstorm here. I think I'm going to pitch the Brainstorm and hope to rip a land for one of these two. You think we pitch the True Name and just go all in on Lily? That's fair. And then we have like the cantrips to support Lily. I guess we're so far behind in raw cards that trying to lean on something that invalidates all their removal with force backup. That's a plan. Yeah, I'm gonna pitch the True Name. I think I agree with you. I think we're just like all in on this Liliana now, where we're so far behind in card count. Spell Piss. Yeah, they still have like Terminus and stuff. We pitch the Brainstorm. We're not going to have enough cards for Brainstorm to be good anyway. So it's the worst of our cantrips here. Awesome. Now we just have to hope they don't have a Council's Judgment or another Mentor. We're just gonna aggressively plus Liliana. Try and push her to ultimate, since it's our best chance at winning, I think. I don't think grinding out our opponent by rebuying Death Rights is gonna get us there. Counterbalance, sure. Cool, I'm gonna scoop now. We can't actually beat their hand with like what we have here, I don't believe. Right. So I'm a bit unsure on the life from the loam. They don't have that many wasteland targets in their deck. Fort Seas, Fluster Storm. This stuff all seems excellent. I mean, they have a bunch of cards in hand. They're ahead on land drops. We've discarded like 3 times. We have no threats. They have a counterbalance in play. I don't think we ever come back in that game, Coconut. I think it's pretty reasonable to concede there. Why is there a Ponder on our board? That was not meant to happen. So I'm considering cutting the forces. Don't know what else is bad. We could honestly almost cut a wasteland. Oh, why are there fatal pushes in our deck still? What? Okay, the pushes are out of our deck now. So the options instead of these forces are like surgicals or a life from the loam. I think loam with wasteland is not great against their deck because they have so many basics. Yeah, I tend to cut a wasteland against them. I don't know how surgical is. When I played Delver, I bought in all my surgicals versus miracles, and I think they're actually pretty good. But this deck's so much slower, and is leaning less on threats that are weak to Terminus. I'm almost tempted just to have the forces. The forces are pretty bad, but probably fine. Yeah, it's a blue blast. Jeremy Desani played 2 blue blasts in his list that he got to the finals of the GP with. I've cut it down to 1. I'm still not convinced even by the 1 copy, but I'm trying it out. Let's keep this. Got Brainstorms to hit land drops. Got a Death Right on turn 1. Liliana is one of the best cards in the matchup, since she's relatively hard for them to answer. Okay, we're gonna ponder here, try and find a fetch land. Awesome. Nope. Now we just pass, and we have a Flusterstorm on top. We can draw if we want to. We're probably not going to draw it. But yes, we are just passing anyway regardless. We're not casting any of these spells here. Could attack, but I guess I can activate Death Right on their end step. Eat my Ponder. Still got Brainstorms I can flash back with Snapcaster anyway. Or eat their Brainstorm apparently. Planeswalkers do not have that, George. I think that's only coming to legendary creatures and spells. I might be wrong though. Ancestral Vision is terrifying. At least we're going to get to land Liliana this turn, which is nice. Keep that Brainstorm. Ooh, is this better than Liliana? This seems really, really problematic for our opponent. I think I'm going to be casting the Bitter Blossom and get that online as soon as possible. Do I have any basic lands? I have 2 basic lands, George. Against Back to Basics, you mean? I guess Back to Basics is a reason to use Deathrite for mana. And then we just like don't bother brainstorming since our hand's pretty great as it is anyway. And we want to keep the green mana up. Because then if they play a Back to Basics, we can fetch our Swamp later on and pair it with the Tropical Island. I'm not sure it matters too much which one we leave up, but hey there, Hogpog. It is going very, very well. Thank you so much, Espion. I'm so excited for it. It's going to be amazing. We need our opponent to not have a mentor here. That's also really good. Luckily we've got this Deathrite, so we can kind of fight through this. We've got like a bit of play here, but thank you so much, Hogpog. I still can't entirely believe it happened, but right. I guess I'm brainstorming off this Shaman. Yep, I'm gonna brainstorm off this Shaman. Just try and dig myself towards an Abrupt Decay for the Back to Basics. Hey, friend. Alright. They did play Back to Basics. You are very smart, George. Confirmed smart Magic player. That's because the actual tournament is called the Magic Online Championship, and it's the Magic Online Championship series that qualifies you for it. So, as far as I'm aware, the actual tournament is meant to just be mock and not mocks, and it's the mocks that qualifies you for it. Right, we're going to put some stuff back and hope that our Shaman doesn't die. If it does, we are in problem. We're in trouble. In problem. I can words. Okay, what am I doing? Put back some random cards. It doesn't really matter. We just hope we get to untap here. Yep. This is just Sultai Control. It's very similar to Jeremy Desani's list that he got to the finals of GP Seattle with. And it's a deck that I've really been enjoying, so I wanted to test it some more to see if I want to play it at the GP. Alright. Now we get to hold up decay their Back to Basics in their turn, which is good. I don't see any reason not just to wait on it and not let them know that we have decay up. Delverless Sultai. Delverless Delver. Alright, in that end step, I'm just gonna get this nonsense off the board so we can continue playing Magic again. Black mana, green mana, kill the Back to Basics. Any tips for a novice streamer? That is a good question. I guess our Deathrite doesn't make mana at the moment, huh? So, I will answer that in a sec, Hogpog. No idea what I meant to do here. There's no mana source for our Shaman. I kind of want to, like, snap Ponder almost. And... Just normal Ponder? That's fair. If we hit a fetch land, we can cast Liliana that way. I like that. And if not, we have Deathrite activation up. You'd cast Strix, just to get the 1-1 on board. It's also reasonable. I think Force isn't the worst here. They're getting Ancestral Vision next turn. Yeah. What Phil said, like, regular hours are really big. I kind of wish I was able to do that myself. Why aren't we making Leo? Because Deathrite does not tap for mana at the moment, because there are no lands in the yard. Otherwise, I would agree with you that that would be the best play. So, I guess I draw Force here. So I have some interaction. Then we just have, like, no fetch lands. I kind of want to shuffle this, honestly. This, like, kind of seems like a garbage pile. Yeah, Force versus Ancestral seems awful to me. I think this pile seems pretty bad. It's, like, a bit late on in the game for Fluster. We've already got a Liliana. And we really want to find lands so we can get our Shaman online again. I think I'm just going to cast the Strix here. And then pass the turn. We could hold up Shaman activation, but they don't have a swords or anything in their yard anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna... I guess I can cast the Leovold instead. That's probably better. Just get the Leovold in play before the Ancestral Vision hits play. That makes sense. So I can get an island here, which doesn't really completely help against the future back to basics, but we get to pretend that we're doing something. Thing is, I want a second black for my Liliana. I think another back to basics is going to be hard enough to beat that I'm just going to get a dual land here, so I can cast Lily without the Shaman. I think I like that. I think another back to basics is just going to be so hard to beat regardless. I'm not going to play around it. So make a green, blue, black. Decent chance this is countered, but if not, it's going to be really good. Okay. Now Liliana has a Leovold she can buy back. Yeah, that's something I never really had to, like, wholly contend with Hogpog, so I don't really know the solution to that, I'm afraid. Alright, counterbalance time. Back. Yeah, I didn't play around the back to basics because I figured this would be really hard to beat regardless. Like, having an island in play wouldn't really be getting us out of this. But this is obviously not ideal. Underground Sea. Still need to find a decay. And then we can use the wasteland to make coloured mana. Yeah, that's something you can do, Hogpog, is, I think I'm attacking here. I'm not using this for mana anyway. I might as well get in my damage. Yep. Like, I'd only get to use this for mana if they crack their strand, which they're just, like, committed to not doing. I've known a bunch of streamers who, like, when they start streaming, they don't have, like, many accomplishments to their name to make people watch them, so what they end up doing is, like, they advertise it to their friends on Facebook or whatever, and then because, like, there are 5 or 6 friends watching it, because they want to, like, watch their friend play Magic, then that, like, gets the viewer numbers up, like, that little bit to help. They're just sitting on 4 lands. They have 6 spells in hand. Right, we found a black source. We can find a swamp with this Verdant Catacombs. Amusingly, if we had found the island earlier, we'd actually be in a decent position now. Maybe I underestimated my ability to play through back to basics with the island. I suspect I did underestimate that, and I should have just got an island and accept that I couldn't cast Lily off my lands. That's probably just like inexperience of the matchup showing. Their draw's also been like really weird though. They've just been sitting on 4 lands for several turns and haven't cast any threats. That's probably game over. If we draw a decay this turn, then like maybe we have a chance, but now we can cast Brainstorm, right? We can find an island, cast Brainstorm. Could even just cast Strix this turn. Instead, off of our basics. But I think I'm just going to Brainstorm here. This Wastelands looked appalling. I might actually just have to start boarding out Wastelands in this matchup. Oh my god, opponent, please. Don't do this. I guess I'm finding a swamp and tapping it on the Wasteland, right? And just accepting this is like a draw one. These Spell Piercers have been actually like surprisingly good alongside the back to basics. So everything is fine. Everything is so fine right now. Let's put back Lily. Put back Leovold. Do I cast Deathrite? I guess they just bounce Deathrite, and I want to have the extra mana source instead. That is the correct emote to be using in this situation, Alessia. Wow, they put the Leovold on the bottom for us. That's so kind of them. Means we're like 1 card closer to actual things. See you later, Hugpug. I guess I Ponder and Deathrite this turn. Just try and find a decay. Those are not decays. So I'm just going to shuffle. Cast my Deathrite. Not having Red Blast makes this matchup a lot harder than it is for Check Pile. Like, Check Pile is a bit of a dog to miracles, but you at least have Red Blasts, which are like good answers to back to basics, and also good answers to Jace. Whereas we're kind of lacking in any of that. We have 0 ways to take a Jace off the board other than swinging. Left a card on top. Predicting it away. That is not correct, Goose. The tournament is the Magic Online Championship, which is part of the Magic Online Championship series, as far as I'm aware. Screw it. I'm just going to cast this True Name. I don't think I can actually, like, win the game through casting this other stuff, and if the True Name somehow resolves, Alright, I'm kind of done. I'm not beating this active Jace. Like, we're just not going to get damage through to it in time. Not underneath the back to basics. That was kind of sad. We're beating the nonsense decks, but we're losing to the actually good decks like Miracles and Check Pile. I still think I really like this deck though, but we'll see. Scoop. Yep. I think that scoop was like maybe a bit overdue by that point. No, I was holding on to hope. Exactly, Phil. You know my strategy. Have checked. I am correct. See? I only knew this once I qualified for it, to be clear, and decided to check the correct nomenclature. I can understand people not knowing it. But I'm going to open the window a bit more. It's so warm today. It's like spring lasted about a week, and now we're into summer. Mock does look quite incorrect. For sure. Maybe I should just have it as Mox, but I guess Mox reads better to people too, from the fact that they're used to that phrase. So they'll pass it quicker. Sound is very respectable. Get to start Strixing on turn 2, casting some owls. Oh my god, George. Yeah, 5k min cash is kind of absurd. You'll find some Aketra invocations to sell me afterwards. That's so kind of you, Phil. Thank you for offering yourself for such a noble task. Really what we should be asking ourselves is, why are all these bug decks splashing red for Colligan's command when they could be splashing white for Aketra? That is the real question. What a hoot. Happy to help. Oh please, not more miracles. I'm so sad right now. I hate this deck. Alright, we've got some owls, we've got some basics, so we're not going to lose to back to basics too hard. I'm just going to find my swamp here and cast an owl. And then next time we can hymn them. I really want to cast this hymn though, whilst they're tapped out, so they can't fluster it. I guess just cast the hymn now, and start casting owls next turn. Aketra is apparently one of the stream's memes, George. Because I got really fed up of everyone suggesting I should add it into Esper tokens. Hoot hoot. Alright, are we finding a bayou or an underground sea? We've got this island. Kind of inclined just to get my green source out. Him you. Cool. Yargle is apparently hilarious. Yargle's great. I love Yargle. Alright, we have force up. It's not really relevant, but no. Oh my god, George. It was so weird though. I don't understand why that's the first question that came to everyone's mind. Yeah, they draw 2. They have undone our hint. We got some 1/1s though. They can't beat these 1/1s. Cool, let's cast another Strix. Surviving Doomblade is not the most amazing accomplishment. Deathrite. I guess I cast that. I'd say we're overextending into Terminus, but Terminus is technically at 1/1 at the moment. And the birds aren't, like, if we cast a Deathrite, and the birds aren't really applying pressure on their own. Just like a pair of 1/1s. You do deserve this, George. You criticised Yargle, and the wrath of chat has come down upon you. He survives Fatal Push too. Survives Fatal Push, survives Abrupt Decay. That makes Yargle legacy playable. Just you watch, like, Nick Fit is going to start playing Yargle. They play everything else, so, like, it's not a big achievement, but in Limited he flap. He sure does. Goes to the skies. I am worried about a Terminus in our future. Yeah. Again, Force just being terrible against Miracle. Wasteland just being terrible against Miracles because their deck is all basics, more or less. Talk bad about Yargle, you get bargled. Oh my lord. Hey, that's probably the best card in our deck right now. Or not, as the case might be. Yes. Guess I'm holding on to this Wasteland. I've got these Fatal Pushes to shuffle back to though. I'm going to play it out. Then if we hit a land off our Brainstorm next turn, we at least get to hold up Hardcast Force, which is kind of something. Pre-release hype is so real. I'm actually skipping pre-releases this weekend. We have to force this, otherwise we lose the game. Yeah, it's really early in the season this time, George. It's like the earliest it's been. Or it feels like it. I guess I want a Trop. I definitely want another blue source. Okay. My current inclination is that feel like I just want to play Delver because I actually have a chance against this sort of nonsense. But you know, how much of like miracles will there really be at the GP anyway? I've just been running bad to hit it twice in a row. Format is not relevant to you? Are you not playing any limited format tournaments in the format, George? Lily the Last Hope is very good against Miracles because she's like a ticking time bomb they have to answer, and they generally only have a Council's Judgment and Snapcasters to kill her. They leave the card on top. Yes. So, what is this? Oh, predicting before I shuffle it away. And they have to answer her, and they're leaning on just Council's judgment to answer her. So Lily is very, very good. Yeah, I'm just gonna scoop here. We've got like 4 dead cards in hand against an active Jace. That's true, George. That makes sense. I'm not aware of any other limited of the format. Because Nationals is the format afterwards. Like M25 or whatever it is. Right, so these are the easy includes. The easy excludes are these Fatal Pushes. This Edict. I really just want to cut these Wastelands. They've been so bad against Miracles. I guess we might need like one of them as a mana source. But I'm definitely into like cutting a couple. I think they're just really bad in this matchup. So hyped. I know, right? I'm so happy Axion got Nationals again. Their last Nationals was just beyond amazing. Like, ignoring the results of the tournament, I also just thought their last Nationals was really well run. And, like, the venue they chose was great and everything. Is there anything else we really want to take out? Do we just run this? I guess we just keep in all the forces. They're kind of bad, but it would be incredibly loose to give it to anyone else. I agree, George. Alright, so this is the last match of this deck today. Hopefully we can, like, win the next couple games for a nice clean 3-2. Oh my god. Definitely, the feeling I'm getting at the moment is that I'm leaning away from playing this at Birmingham. I'm just playing Grixis instead. But it's still early days. I'll probably still run another league on stream with this deck at some point. Alright, we can Thoughtseize into him and just destroy their hand. And then stick a True Name in the wake. Portent, predict, force. So we take the force, they then can't force our him. Play the Ravager deck. The Ravager deck does seem kind of sweet, to be fair. Maybe if they force our him, we're happy. Since then they just have like all lands. Maybe we take... Could also just take the predict. Like, take the predict. If they force the him, that's fine with me. Yeah, sure. Legacy Bomat Red. That is a thing that is not happening in a million years, Phil. Never. I mean, it's probably better than him resolving, but we still don't want them having predict to, like, rebuild in the aftermath of a him, right? Like, ensuring they don't have predict in hand makes them a lot less able to rebuild. So we hit the Force and the Tundra, and they just have Portent. And Grixis, Dalvar, and SCG. I have been kind of tempted to try that, but I imagine it's terrible. It seems really bad against, like, Pyromancer tokens and Deathrite. And Baleful Strix. Which is, like, fairly poor position for your threat to be compared to literally every other threat that sees play in the format. Yep, exactly. 1-1s versus 1-2s. Alright, so we know 2 of the 3 cards in their hands. We get to just slam True Name here. It's True Name into Jace as well. I should maybe be fetching a basic. I can't actually fetch a basic here to play around back to basics, I guess, because this doesn't fetch Island. So that's kind of irrelevant. They do not have the Terminus. I guess they don't have a white source in play either, so that makes sense. Leovold. Okay. Let's attack for free. You would not play around back to basics. Cool. That makes sense, George. Thanks, Stampet. I appreciate it. I'm really, really excited for that tournament. I think I'm slamming Jace, right? I don't want to cast Leovold because they kind of have to Terminus me anyway at the moment. But I also want to be, like, presenting a threat. And if they counter Jace, then I get to go, like, Brainstorm next turn to maybe find a Liliana. Or a him or something. Which is fine. Probably start fetching basics now. Sure. Casting Jace. Yep, this is fine. Now we have no cards in their hand. They still just have to answer this True Name to deal with what's going on here. I was just not going to cast this Leovold whilst the True Name's in play, since the True Name demands a Terminus anyway. So let's cast this Brainstorm to try and find some discard, or a Force or something, or a Liliana, just as another versatile threat. Sylvan Library plays. Let's put back Wasteland, put back Strix, cast the Library. If they have a Snap cast, this is pretty sad times. Snap counterspell. But otherwise, this is just like another powerful threat to have on board on top of the True Name. Library is the perfect threat, since it doesn't die to Terminus. Imagine it is getting countered here, though. They found a Tundra, which means our Wasteland is live. So I can actually use this Ponder to draw the Wasteland and take out this Tundra. No shuffling. Kill your Tundra. Because they took a damage off the fetch land, our True Name clock is increased. Like, it takes 1 less turn now. Comparing Library to Griselbrand is generous, but I must admit I've not actually cast Sylvan Library many times in my life. Or not had it in play very much. I don't tend to take it in cube fairly highly, and I very rarely play green in Legacy, so I've just not had many experiences with the card. Alright, let's attack for free. The title is meant to say Mock because it's the Magic Online Championship, which you qualify for via the Magic Online Championship series. Although I might change it to Mocks at some point. Since I think I'm just going to cast the Strix. Gets us like a card deeper towards Forces and Fort Caesars. It doesn't increase our clock, but I think that's fine. It doesn't make us any weaker to a Terminus. So, since we're just going to cast the Leovolds anyway instead of the Strix, right? Stand strong, Autumn. Mock is correct. Yeah, I won the Mox Open last weekend. Cubano. Do I play this out? I probably do. It makes me less weak to back to basics that way. It makes my brainstorms a bit worse, but back to basics is sufficiently scary that I feel like it's worth playing around. Okay, we got a Force out of their hand. As long as they don't... Even if they had a Jace here, we'd have the Leovold as like a counter. Yeah, I'm incredibly excited about it, Cubano. Because I get to go to the PT as well. In Richmond in like a month and a half. It's going to be my first PT in a little while. This Leovold's going to do work. Guess I him them first. In case they have a Vendilion Clique and want to try and trade with my Leovold. Nope, just Supreme Verdict. That's a good one to know about. So now they're playing off the top versus my Leovold. They get a plus on themselves. Otherwise we draw a card if they bounce Leovold, and they obviously can't brainstorm. She good. Alright. I guess we have to attack them, since they're on 5 and Jace is on 5. Attacking Jace is meaningless. And we get to play Liliana plus Liliana. Now, even if they kill this Leovold, we have a new one that we can cast off the Lily. Bug Zenith sounds kind of sweet, Cubano. I'm mainly jamming decks for to find what I want to play in Birmingham at the moment though. I think I keep this as is. I think I'm pretty happy with how I have this configured post board. Yep. Interestingly, the opponent kept in most of their forces, which we're doing as well. Have I sideboarded in low much? I've sideboarded it in a couple times. I brought it in against Eldrazi, and I brought it in against Checkpile, and it was like fine against both. It's honestly pretty nice against Checkpile, but we ended up losing to Jace anyway. This hand is fine. We don't have any early discards, sadly. But we've got these cantrips to help us find some. Yeah, it does feel a bit medium. I'm not like thrilled about it. For sure, George. Thank you, Temporalis. I'm really excited to be back on the PT now. I'm shuffling these, right? I guess I get to brainstorm next turn. I just want to find discard spells though, and I've already got one Liliana. Being able to like jam a Liliana into a counter spell and then jam another one the turn after is pretty nice though. So maybe this is good enough. I think I shuffle. I think I agree. Drew the Liliana anyway. Cool. Yeah, I agree. We just want to find discard so we can like break a hole in their defenses. Ooh, Deathrite Shaman. Wondering if I want to brainstorm this turn to try and find a Thoughtseize, because then I can curve Thoughtseize into Lily. And if I miss on Thoughtseize, I get to cast Deathrite. I think that's fine. If they counter the brainstorm, that's also fine with me. Oh my god. We just have everything now. What are we keeping? I mean, it doesn't exist because, like, the cards we drew afterwards weren't the ones we put back on top afterwards, but... This hand is... collection of some stuff. I'm almost tempted to put back the Shaman on the basis that then we invalidate their Swords to Plowshares. We definitely want the lands, we definitely want at least one Liliana, we definitely want the Bitter Blossom, we definitely want the Hymn. And I think we want the Brainstorm, so like the 4 cards in question are Force, True Name, Deathrite, Second Lily. I'm inclined to almost just shuffle away the Force. Yeah, I think I agree we're getting rid of the Force. I think I agree we're getting rid of a Lily. No, as of next turn, we're going to be using our mana a bunch. I guess we could go like Hymn plus Deathrite next turn, but... I'm going to put back a Lily. And I think I'm putting back this Force. The Force is kind of nice insurance, though. And our hand is like so stacked. I'm actually going to keep hold of the Force because I think our hand is really stacked and we got this Brainstorm to shuffle away at a later date anyway. And I'm just going to put back this True Name because then we still have like the Bitter Blossom and the Liliana as like really good threats to cast. I like this. So we play the Catacombs, crack the Catacombs. Problem is, if our opponent slams Mentor next turn, we're actually, like, kind of dead to it without the Force. So I feel like we want to keep hold of the Force because of Monastery Mentor. We're getting a Swamp here. Swamp gives me some play against Back to Basics. I think Swamp's fine. It plays well with our hand. Our hand's really black heavy. I'm just going to get the Swamp. Now we got Force up for Mentor. Sorry about the strimmer outside making lots of noise at the moment. Can't really close my window because it's like over 25 degrees here at the moment. Brainstorm. In a past life I would have forced here. Very muted metal music. Oh my god. Can confirm it is not very muted metal music. Alright, they get to shuffle those away. Next time we get to go Hymn plus Bitter Blossom, if we don't lose our Shaman here. Which is going to be really strong. Tear apart their hand, then get a really resilient threat in play. They do have a Disenchant in their deck, of note, so they do have an answer to this Bitter Blossom somewhere in their deck, but it's a decent chance they shuffled it away with the Brainstorm, considering it doesn't have that many targets in our deck. They did get a Volk, that means they don't have Back to Basics, I'm assuming. There's a Terminus. Nope. Alright, we drew a Force to pitch to the Force. So I'm just going to start this with a Hymn, and then I'm going to land the Bitter Blossom. Red Blast Portent. Cool. From the Ashes inbound. Oh my lord. Right, let's find a Trop. Then we eat the Arid Mesa. Yeah, it means Red Blast, which we just saw. Alright. Bitter Blossom gets to start piling on tokens against them. We did not somehow win that Hogpug. We got destroyed. We are going to force this Mentor and hope they do not have Flusterstorm, or else we were in trouble. I think we pitched the Force. Since it's so unlikely we find another blue card for the other Force anyway. Well, did not lose the game, so that's good. Good thing we got rid of that Red Blast last turn. So I could Brainstorm here and try and find some hand disruption and then cast Lily afterwards. Feels like a kind of a spew of the Brainstorm. I could just attack for 1 instead and still get the Lily in play, which is probably better. Yeah, I think I like that. I'm going to attack for 1 and cast Liliana. We're very, very sad if they cast another Mentor after we passed up an opportunity to maybe find a Thoughtseize. But we're kind of unlikely to find a Thoughtseize, and saving the Brainstorm has a fair bit of worth to us. It was sealed Cubano, so Rivals sealed. So I had a black-white mid-range deck for the sealed portion. The only rare I had was Vona, but I had a bunch of really good uncommons. I had 2 of the 3/3 Aerosaurs that give flying to another creature, and I had a Chupacabra. We only get to answer 1 of our things here. And then in the draft, I just drafted Esper with a whole bunch of, what was it? A whole bunch of Legion Conquistadors. Thanks, Connor. Ooh, I get to wasteland their Voltcare before brainstorming. Seems great. Huh, they're floating blue mana instead. Regardless, I'm still going to move to after combat here, and then I think I'm going to brainstorm to try and find some hand disruption. They're brainstorming, so they're probably going to leave a Terminus on top. This means I've actually quite enjoyed the format, Rivals format, but I know I'm a bit unusual in that regard and that most people hate it. So I can eat the Council's Judgment with the Death Ray. They're just gonna Terminus. So casting the Strix doesn't really achieve much. So I could Brainstorm instead. It's kind of spewing the Brainstorm, but we could find some discard, which would be nice. This feels like a bit of a spew, but I think it's fine. I think we're just really looking for hand disruption at this point. Or a Force. Force is also great with our Bitter Blossom in play. So we just get to attack for 1, pass the turn, eat the Council's Judgment. Draft is great, sealed is Blair. Yeah, I thought the draft was great. I thought the sealed was weird because, like, the good games in Sealed were really enjoyable, but the bad games in Sealed were so awful. It was like, it was this really weirdly polarized experience, at least for me anyway. I think I'm just going to let this Terminus resolve. We'll save Force for like a Jace or something. I don't really want to fight over this. They have like Mentors in their deck that we'd happily force. We'd force a Disenchant on the Bitter Blossom. But I don't think the Terminus matters very much. The RPTQ port was quite awful. Okay, we have to cancel this. Because Bitter Blossom is going to try to win this game. Unfortunately, now they can snapcast back Council's Judgment since they drew another Council's Judgment. But it is what it is. Pass the turn, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense, Cubano. The bombs are were definitely very stupid in Rick's Sealed. Cool. Land's not the best, but we have a decent clock going here. It's reasonably hard for our opponent to interact with it as well. We're really hoping they don't find a Snapcaster for this Council's Judgment. But they'd still have to Council's Judgment this and find a Terminus. They can now hardcast Terminus. It qualified me for Dominaria, Hogpog, so I'm going to be in Richmond in June. Ooh. That card's not very good with Bitter Blossom, but I mean, I guess we're winning if the Bitter Blossom doesn't die, so this is still a fine draw. This is getting forced. Sure. That's fine. Jace. I mean, they have to plus the Jace for Jace to not die. Yep. They put a card on the bottom. Strix. Right. Pay 8, no fair. Take 8 is the only legal play. Oh my god. Y'all are ridiculous. I think I'm just attacking them with everything and hoping to fade a Terminus here. Attack all at your face. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to play the Strix. So if I hit a Flusterstorm, I can actually deal with them brainstorming into hardcast Terminus. Right, I think I'm holding this one though. I don't really want to use up my fetch land. Yeah, I ignore the Jace. I agree. I'm just going to pass. Right, they have to find a Terminus here. Even if they do, we threaten lethal again in like 2 turns. They just have to keep Terminusing for the rest of the game. If I could kill the Jace, I would have killed the Jace, but the fact that we could only put the Jace to 1 inclines me just to attack them with everything. Okay. Interesting. Almost. Almost, opponent. Jace is in fact not the place. Oh yeah, we got the 3-2. We actually beat Miracles. Miracles is a lot easier to beat when they don't have the back to basics build. which is encouraging. And the Bitter Blossom did serious work in that last game. Right, let's open this treasure chest. 10 whole play points. Aren't we the luckiest? Still want to play one more league of this deck at some point. Still something I'm considering for Birmingham. I'm like a tiny bit more off it because of how problematic Back to Basics felt, which is a card I've never really cared about with Delver, but yeah, this was enjoyable. Right,